Hi everyone, Crystal here from Galaxy Finds, and I have a video about my Poshmark live show today. I know a lot of you have been waiting for this because I've been teasing it since I've done the show that I will do a review video on it, and here I am. I know it's been like 2 weeks since I've done a video. It's just I've been literally preparing for this show for like 3 to 4 weeks, so yeah. And don't let that scare you, because I'm just a perfectionist that I needed to have everything super curated, and I wanted to use all new to my closet items. You don't have to do that. You don't. So I'm gonna start with my last video about this, which, you know, was not a great one because I was really upset that Poshmark had offered me the chance to do beta in like the first round, and then they pretty much forgot about me. And I finally got an answer from them. They sent me the link to sign up for training, and I think the training was like 2 weeks after I made that video, so I signed up for it because I wanted to do it and see what it was like, even if it's just for the sake of doing a video like this to tell everybody what it's like, and if anybody wants to do it, then they can. So I'm going to put a link to sign up for the Posh shows in my description, so you can do that if you watch this video and think that's something I want to do. I got into my training on October 6th. It's a Thursday, and my training was about 45 minutes to an hour long. They pretty much went over all the features. They let you ask questions, but it's in like a format that like it's just the two people from Poshmark talking. Like you couldn't see anybody else, but you could do the chat, and there was a place to ask questions. So a lot of the questions, as you're probably familiar with, are, when are we going to have bundling? We still don't have bundling, so, you know, spoiler alert, but I'm sure you all know that. And yeah, so once you do the show, they send you this like survey, and then after the survey there's a link to sign up for your first Poshmark live show. The first show you do is from a very limited calendar, so keep that in mind. This is not going to be the way for every show you do though. So you pick the first show. I picked 2 o'clock Monday, October 24th, because a lot of the other ones were at like 9 p.m. and I'm just not a night person. And I don't stay up late, and if I do, I'm like a vegetable. So for the East Coast people, like that 9 o'clock show is late, you know, for a lot of us. So on the West Coast, that's 6 o'clock for you guys, so it's no big deal. But so I picked 2 o'clock in the afternoon, which obviously is not the most opportune time in the middle of the week. A lot of people are at work, a lot of people are busy, but I figured it's my first show, you know. I'm not gonna, like, maybe not that many people will be there. If I mess up, it's not a huge deal because there won't be that many people. But I will tell you this, you do not have to do it the way I did it. What I did was I went through my unlisted inventory, which I have a lot of, and I picked out the items for my show. You can literally just go into your closet and add items to your show. You don't have to do any extra work other than that. It's very simple. If you just want to sell items you already have listed, you can do that. I did not want to do that because I knew that I had a lot of stuff that needed to be photographed, and this kind of pushed me to photograph some of the stuff that's been sitting for a while. So for me, it was a good motivator, so I ended up photographing about 30 vintage sweaters for this show. So obviously that took some time because I had to photograph them. I had to make a full listing for them, and then, you know, I put them all in my drafts up until like 2 days before the show. And for your first show, the portal basically for your show doesn't open up until 48 hours before your show starts, so you cannot add those items until then. But then afterwards, you can make a show at any time and open it up at any time. So I'll get to that. So, you know, Poshmark still takes 20% from your items, which means that you don't want to start super low. Because, you know, if you start an item at $3 and it sells for $3, you've only made 5 cents. And if you really want to get rid of stuff, I guess you could do that, but like I don't really see the point. All of my starts were at $10 or more because I really didn't see a point of doing any less than $10. So all the items in my show were items that I'd gotten at church sales, at the bins, at a church thrift near me that sells everything for $1, or I had like 5 items that I took from my closet that had been there for like 2 years. So they were all items that I knew I could not lose money on if they sold for at least $10. I set up at my mother's house, and if you were in the show, you saw she has a beautiful view. She lives on the 3rd floor of a condo right in Salem, Massachusetts. She's right on the water. She lives 3 houses down from the Hocus Pocus house, which is a huge attraction. At all times of year, people want to like take pictures in front of it and whatever. But the original 1993 Hocus Pocus movie used actual Salem as a backdrop, so there's a lot of stuff from the movie that you can see. So that was kind of cool. And then I had my mom basically looking at comments while the show was going on, because as you've probably heard from other people, the comments do go fast, and if you're standing up there with an item and someone asks a question and then you don't want to go up there and start scrolling the screen and like looking for it, it's just a lot. So it is really helpful to have somebody with you to like just monitor the comments, because she would, if somebody requested something, if they said, oh, can you run sweater number 25, she would write it down, and then when I went to go do the next item, she said, oh, somebody wants to see 25, so I'd just go to that. There were a few items that I did run up to 3 times. I'm not sure if other people do that. I made sure I ran all of the items, but like I went back to a few of them a couple times, but then I think all of them that they requested that many times did sell, so it was worth it. So you could do 30 seconds, 45 seconds, or 1 minute auction times. I stuck to 45 seconds. I asked and I said, is this good for everybody? Everybody seems to be okay with 45 seconds. What I think I'm going to do next time, if someone asks me to rerun an item, I'm just going to do 30 seconds, so I don't have to talk about it again for as long. But I didn't think of that in the moment, so that's notes for me. Let's see. I did have like a lot of people in the chat like asking like how can I sign up to do this, and there is a link in the Poshmark blog that you can sign up for training. When I signed up for training, they were only doing it once a month. I think they're doing it more now, but I'm not sure. I haven't checked. But if you go to their Poshmark blog about signing up for beta shows, there is a link so you can sign up. I set my show time for 2 hours. You could set it for 30 minutes. You could set it, I think, up to like 6 hours or something. Not that I would ever want to talk for that long, but it was cool. I set it for 2 hours, and then I stopped it, I think, at an hour and a half, hour 40 maybe. But by the like 30th item, like my throat was like, I'm still hoarse, and this was like 3 days ago. My throat was hoarse, and I was just getting tired. My back was starting to hurt. I was just like, yeah, I think my show limit is probably 30 items. I had 39 and I was exhausted. So that, so yeah, we still don't have bundling, which is really obnoxious, and every single person who's done a show has said how obnoxious it is. Some people don't bundle at all, so you have to, if you were in Poshmark back in like the beginning, we didn't have bundles, and we used to have to make custom bundles for people, and it was annoying as hell. So, you know, you'd have to go back and forth in the comment section and be like, I want this item, I want this item, I want this item, can you put it in a bundle for me? And then I'd have to make like a little like title sheet that said like bundle for and blah blah blah, and like put the items in it. So it's kind of like that. But since they've already purchased the items, you make a bundle, the person purchases the bundle, then you go in and you cancel all of their sales. So I had one lady that had 6 sweaters, which I was super grateful for, and I was very happy. But I had to split it into 2 bundles for her because it was like 9 pounds worth of sweaters, which she was fine with, which was great. And she was not a seller. She said that, like, in the chat, she was like, oh, I just lost a bunch of weight and I'm looking for some winter clothes. And I was like, great, like, I have tons of stuff, like, and she just kept bidding. So I made her 2 boxes full. I had to weigh everything individually and then, like, kind of strategically put it together so each box was under 5 pounds. Then I had another person that bought 2 sweaters that I bundled together, and that was fine. That was under 5 pounds. But yeah, I was a little nervous about the bundling aspect, but it worked out. It was just time consuming. So I think the more annoying thing was cancellations. So I'm sure if you're on Facebook and you're in any of those Facebook groups, someone's, oh, I bid on it by accident, you know, and yes, it definitely happens, but I don't know how legitimate some of these are. Like, some of them are just buyer's remorse, or if they actually legitimately bid by accident. And it could definitely happen, and I think they kind of just need to move the bid button, like, maybe up a little bit or something, because it seems like people that are just trying to, like, get out of the show have hit the bid button by accident. So anyway, I had one lady on the show that was like, my baby bid on it, like, my baby hit the, I was like, okay, fine. I was like, I'll cancel it after the show, that's fine. And I had another lady message me right after the show and go, oh, I didn't know I was in an auction. That was kind of BS to me, because I'm like, it literally says bid on the button. She didn't know it would automatically purchase. So I did end up canceling it for her, and I just sent her a message and was like, you know, not all sellers are gonna want to cancel for you, so just, you know, be careful. She's like, oh, I've done it before, nobody's had a problem canceling it for me. And I'm like, wait a minute, so you've done this before, but you didn't know you were in an auction. It just, like, it was all BS, and I just, like, I did not even say anything back. I was just like, whatever. So I did end up canceling that for her, but luckily, since all of the things are listed in my closet, I can just mark it for sale again, and, you know, other people can now buy this item. As you can see, I'm still a little hoarse there. The thing that's really been annoying the community lately is how they put in the newsfeed and notifications when anybody you follow is having a show, they notify you. Like, part of it is good that they're notifying people, but the part that's really annoying is that they don't let you pick which people you want to be notified of. Like, now that shows are, like, going all day, every day, you're just getting these notifications, and that can be really annoying. I haven't shut it off or whatever, just because it's not annoying to me right now, but I guess it could be in the future. But what Poshmark really needs to do is add a bookmark show button, so that you are only notified of the shows you are interested in. I want to bookmark my friends' shows, because all my friends that are going live, I want to watch them, but I keep forgetting because I don't know when they are, and there's so many shows going on. So those of you who have, you know, had shows and I haven't made it, I'm sorry. But I need more notification. Okay, so I hope that's a feature coming soon, bundling and bookmarking. I had a lot of people ask me if I was going to do another show, and I said yes, because I think I could probably do, like, maybe one a month. That's probably all the capacity I have to do a show. My next show, I think, is going to be Christmas and holiday, like, vintage and some, like, modern things. I do have a bin full of Christmas stuff that I've been getting ready, and I'm like, well, maybe I should, you know, premiere it at the show, and whatever doesn't sell goes into my closet, you know. So I have that. So let's see. The thing I noticed was most of my buyers were not resellers, which I thought was really great. I had a couple friends in my show that bought things, and I really appreciated that. But for the most part, like, the profiles I clicked on, they were empty closets, and they're not resellers. So I thought that was cool that real people are coming to these shows, and I've heard, like, Whatnot is mostly resellers. So that was why I was never interested in that. Let's see, I'm hoping for more updates before I do another show. I'm hoping that they update the bundling and the bookmarking, and maybe even having stuff on a second device. You know, all of that would be nice. I think that for average sale price, some people are really killing it and they're doing great with their prices. I started everything, you know, $10 to $20. I didn't start anything over 20 or under 10. My average sale price was 15, so that makes sense. And for me, that was fine because I made money on the items. But for people that don't get cheap inventory, it's probably not the best idea unless you want to start things really high, but then you have to be prepared for people not to buy them. Even when I was starting things at $10, I had some lady in the chat say, "Oh, are you going to be doing any $5 starts?" And I was like, no. Like, if I did that, I'd be losing money. And luckily, one of my friends was like, yeah, Poshmark still takes 20%, so if they start at $5 and they only sell it for $5, you know, that's no profit. No profit for the seller. So I appreciated that. It would be a great thing for bin sellers. If you have bins close by, I would strongly suggest you try out shows. Like, it would be really cool because you can just, if you can go to the bins and get, you know, a bunch of items real cheap and then auction them off immediately, that would be so good. Like, my bins are almost an hour away, so I only go like 2 to 3 times a year, but I have enough stuff that it doesn't matter. And let's see. Oh, it's good. I was saying it's good for me because I have a death pile that is an entire room, and I moved a lot of bulky sweaters. I sold 17 items. I made $257 in like an hour and a half, so that was pretty cool. And my average sale price was $15.11. So yeah, that was my experience. Let me know what you think about shows. Have you had one? I want to know other people's experiences. If it was similar to mine, how you feel about doing more of them, and what the future of shows is. I think whether you like it or not, live shows are here to stay, and live selling has become really popular in other countries, and it's just taking off here in the US. It's here to stay. Whether you want to do it or not is up to you. Like, I'm definitely not telling everybody that they have to do it, but I think it's fun to try a new thing. Even if you try it once and just, you hate it, don't do it again. So thank you for watching, everybody. I hope this was helpful if you're thinking about doing live shows. Yeah, and tell me if you have a show coming up. I'll try to remember, but I might need to be reminded of it. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and I'll be back soon.